सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी, ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन ही नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this webinar called Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is a webinar series presented by the management of Franchise India every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with an aim to introduce you to a new business opportunity. Every day, we bring exciting and high potential franchise business from across the industry. Over the past 27 years, Franchise India has proudly helped thousands of investors find the right franchise business and successfully start their entrepreneurial journey. Franchise India, as the world's largest integrated franchise solution company, our role is to ensure that your investment is safe by taking an informed decision and your journey from an investor to entrepreneur is smooth and successful. The objective of this webinar is to give you a direct opportunity to connect with the founders, the key stakeholders, understand the business opportunity in detail, and openly ask any sort of question which you may have related to the brand, the business, investment, growth, before you take the actual decision. In today's webinar, we are going to talk about a business opportunity with a jewelry brand called Firefly Lab-Grown Diamonds. Firefly Lab-Grown Diamond is a premium luxury jewelry brand specializing in high-quality lab-grown diamond jewelry, built on a legacy of over 60 years in the diamond and jewelry industry. The brand combines traditional craftsmanship, advanced diamond expertise, contemporary design, and a sustainable luxury to create a modern jewelry experience for today's consumer. Originating from Mumbai, the founding family has decades of experience in diamond manufacturing, cutting, polishing, and jewelry production, with business expansion across US, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. Over the years, the group evolved into a fully integrated jewelry powerhouse with expertise ranging from diamond sourcing to high-end jewelry creation. Firefly is creating to capture, rapidly growing opportunity in the lab-grown diamond category, targeting modern consumers who seek luxury, sustainability, affordability, and contemporary design aesthetics. The brand is now expanding through franchising and giving you opportunity to be a part of their successful journey. And to talk about the same, I'm joined with, we have co-founders. So we have Ayush and Adit, both are the co-founders, along with my, the leaders from, the franchise India across India. We have Vishwajit, who's the business head from Pune. We have Manish, who's the business head from Bangalore. We have Ravi, who's heading the business from Ahmedabad. We have Tanu, who's a strategic consultant. We have Krishna Kaushik, who is the financial consultant. We have Mayur, who's the head of business, head of sales. from the brand. And we have Rajesh Kapoor, who is also, from franchising, taking care of the jewelry business. But before I, invite both the co-founders to start with their introduction, and then we'll move on to the presentation. I would like to inform all our viewers that you also have opportunity, to ask questions related to the brand, the business. Luckily, we have both the co-founders available today. So in case if you will have any sort of question, my request is to please use chat or the Q&A box to put all your queries to us. And we will take them up once the presentation is over. Now, may I invite Adit to take the lead. Let's get started, with your little bit of intro, and then we will move on to the presentation. Yeah, over to you, Adit.
Thank you so much, Bharat, and thanks for setting up the webinar. Thank you to everyone who's joined. My name is Adit Pansali. I'm one of the co-founders of Firefly. Together with my brother Ayush, we started the brand around 2.5 years back. A little bit quickly about our background is both of us come from a family that's been in the jewelry industry since the last 65 years. My grandfather first started the business in the 1950s and 60s in diamond cutting, polishing, and then we further expanded subsequently into diamond jewelry manufacturing. So today we stand as a group. We do everything from diamond cutting, polishing, trading to jewelry design and manufacturing for all the large brands across India. And around 2.5 years back, we decided the lab-grown diamond opportunity is going to be the future of the jewelry market. And as a result, we decided to take a step forward, enter into the retail category with our own brand, Firefly. Today, we now stand with around 9 stores, with another 6 stores further in the pipeline across Bombay, Pune, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. And the plan is now we want to get to around 20 stores by Diwali, and then we want to be at 60 stores by next Diwali. So we have a really exciting, fast journey in front of us. I'll pause for a second. I'll let Ayush introduce himself and Mayur, who's our head of sales, briefly introduce themselves, and then we can share more about the brand.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Bharat, for the introduction. So I think as Adit mentioned, we've been in this industry it's our third generation that's been in the jewelry industry. Our grandfather started it, then dad and mom both have been in the jewelry industry, and now Adit and we've started Firefly. The growth has been really great so far. We're very excited to see where it's going. The response across India has also been very, very warm towards lab-grown diamonds. So I think, it's just about opening many stores. So we'll be opening our 10th store next month, and, hoping to open many, many more through your help. So thanks a lot.
Hi all. Yeah, my name is Mayur and I take care of the sales and business expansion for Firefly. And we are trying to build a premium lab-grown diamonds brand where quality and customer service is the key focus for us. So thank you for joining, and then we'll continue telling you more about us. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, gentlemen. All right. So, Adit, let's get started with the presentation. Yeah,
Thanks,
visible.
Bharat. You guys can, yeah, perfect. So I think I have prepared a short presentation to kind of walk you guys through the opportunity and the brand that we're looking to build at Firefly. As we talked about, Firefly is built on a legacy of over 60 years of diamond and specifically jewelry excellence. So I wanted to start by giving you guys a little bit of the background of the kind of group. So as I mentioned, in the 1950s, my grandfather, Jitendra Bansali, arrived in Mumbai, set up the business. We then were one of the original site holders of De Beers. So we were getting the diamonds directly from their mines internationally. And then we were kind of taking that forward through cutting, polishing, and trading. And we expanded in kind of the 1960s, 70s, 80s internationally as well, opening offices in the US, Middle East, and Hong Kong as well. In the 1990s is when my father entered the business, and that's when we expanded into the next stage of the supply chain, which is actually doing the design and manufacturing of high quality diamond jewelry. So we started partnering with, at the time, many of the independent large jewelers. But over time, those jewelers have grown to become the big chain stores of today. So we have continued to kind of grow and expand with them as one of their key design partners and their key manufacturing partners for any of the jewelry that they are kind of putting in their stores. So every single chain store that you can kind of name in India with 10 plus stores is actually one of the customers of ours, and we are one of their key vendors. And today, the group, we have around 700 plus people in our team. We have offices across the world, as I mentioned. We have our own jewelry manufacturing factories. We have diamond cutting and diamond trading units as well. And we are basically a fully integrated jewelry powerhouse that serves the natural diamond customers and now is through Firefly expanding into the lab grown diamond business as well. Little bit quickly on the two kind of founders and promoters of the group. My grandfather, who started the business at 85, is still active in the business today. He actually leads the diamond buying unit of the group company even today. And we are able to kind of take advantage of the 50, 60, 70-year-old industry relationships that he has to ensure that we are getting diamonds at the best price possible, and we are able to kind of bring our sourcing costs to the lowest in the market. In 2025, he was also honored with the first IIJS Legends Award as a pioneer of the industry by the Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. So the GJEPC is the main body that drives the growth of the Indian industry forward at a national level. And it's been around since 1966 as the primary industry body. So getting this award, and actually the first person in the entire industry to get this award, is a testament to kind of the company that he's been able to build, the relationships that he's been able to build, and the impact that he's had on developing the entire diamond and jewelry sector more broadly. He also served for 10 years on the managing committee of the Bharat Diamond Bourse, which is the largest diamond exchange in the world. And now, outside of business, he spends a lot of time in philanthropy, partnering with various different organizations, such as the Friends of Tribal Society, and he runs his own Jitendra Kirtilal Bansali Trust as well. A little bit on our father, Nirav Bansali. He started in the 1990s. As I said, he was the primary driver of the group's expansion into diamond jewelry manufacturing and has kind of grown and scaled the business internationally. Outside of business, he's also, again, an active leader in industry. He's a committee member of the GJEPC. And since the last 15 years, he's primarily served as the convener of the exhibitions committee, which actually puts on the IIJS Indian International Jewelry Show, which is put on 3 times a year. And today, under his guidance, that show has grown into the largest diamond jewelry and jewelry show in the world. It says second largest, but I think this year they've actually overtaken the Las Vegas show to become the largest show in the world, for which he's received letters of congratulations from everyone from Prime Minister Modi to the Chief Minister of various states and senior business leaders like Mukesh Ambani and Gautam Adani. So this is the foundation on which we've been able to kind of expand on and bring Firefly as a brand into the market. If I now move to the next slide, I can share a bit more about my own background and on Ayush's background as well, which will also be helpful as so I grew up obviously in Bombay. Since then, I moved to the US around 12 years back to complete my undergraduate degree at Princeton University, where I studied economics and computer science. After graduating from Princeton, I worked in Boston Consulting Group in their New York office, advising several large clients across consumer goods and financial services, which helped us kind of get an initial base understanding of what the consumer market looks like, both globally and in India. And after that, I moved to a private equity and venture capital fund called Westbridge Capital in San Francisco, where we invested in startups that emerged from the Indian markets across consumer, financial services, and software. I was also, lucky enough to be honored among the 40 under 40 last year at the GJEPC's national kind of awards for rising leaders in the jewelry industry. And I've been speaking at multiple, lucky enough to speak in multiple sectoral conferences that I held across the year. For Ayush, Ayush, do you want to give your quick background?
Yeah, sure. So I also grew up in Bombay with Adit. I went to the US to study at Babson College in Boston. Over there, I did a BA, but I focused very heavily into entrepreneurship and marketing. So I did a dual concentration. After that, I came back and I joined the family business. I was involved with the family business that was doing jewelry manufacturing for about 3 years. And then also along with Adit, I was also very happy and honored to be awarded the same award in 2024 in the 40 under 40 awards. And and then after that, when Adit came back, we joined and we started Firefly together. And it's been about 2 to 3 years since that started.
Thanks. So yeah, like Ayush was saying, I think he was in the US for around 6 years. I was in the US for 11 years as we kind of completed our education and started to build our early careers. The reason we both moved back and was because we were super excited about the way that the lab-grown diamond opportunity had already picked up in the US and what we felt was about to happen in India. So that was the mindset with which we decided that this was the perfect category for us to expand into and for us to focus on creating a strong, sustainable business and a strong, sustainable brand in. And with that in mind, moved back to India and have been focusing on setting up and scaling Firefly for the last 3 years. And now coming to, I think, the most important, couple of slides, why partner with Firefly? So what differentiates us from the other brands in the category, as obviously the market is growing very quickly, expanding rapidly, and there are multiple players that have come into the space. The first one is, I think, what we've already talked about a lot, which is the legacy of having 60 years of diamond and jewelry experience and being part of the industry. So this is something, the importance of this cannot be overstated because it goes beyond just having an understanding of manufacturing, and it goes much deeper into the industry relationships which we have. So my grandfather, my father, and now us have relationships with all of the large brands, players, manufacturers, growers, traders, every single large organization within the entire jewelry ecosystem. We've known them and we've known their families and have those tight relationships for the last 60 years. The diamonds and jewelry industry is a very small, close-knit industry, which is still primarily run by families. So having those relationships with the right, family members and having strong personal, almost family-like relationships with them means that when we set up our own company, the amount of support that we've received from the rest of the industry, the amount of support we've received from vendors, from partners who are keen to, help us grow, who are keen to invest in the brand, who are keen to help us with sourcing and best quality products at the best price. It plays a huge role in the kind of products that we are able to create, in the kind of designs that we are able to create, in the kind of pricing that we are able to set for ourselves at like a sourcing level, which allows us to maintain kind of best in industry level margins. And it allows us to kind of focus on primarily what is forward, which is about creating the brand, focusing on marketing, and spending to kind of ensure that people are aware of the brand and we're able to create that brand equity. The entire product, supply chain, operation side of things is completely taken care of. We just have to focus on the retail side, which gives us a huge advantage over most of the other players. Second thing here, experience management team. So obviously, Adityan, Ayush and I, my family, we've talked about that side already. But Mayur as well, and a few of the other senior leaders on our team all come from 25 plus years of specifically jewelry industry knowledge. People have been leading large teams at some of the other large brands, managing many stores. People have been managing product, merchandising, supply chain for the last 25 years on the B2B side, on the B2C side. And that expertise we are able to leverage at Firefly, even at such a small and early stage in our journey. The fact that we have such experienced, skilled leaders on board helps us set the foundation that will now allow us to scale from the stores we have today to the 60 stores we want to have, in the next 18 months. Third thing, national presence. So today we've only opened our own company operated stores, but we've already, as I was mentioning, scaled to 9 boutiques across Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad. We'll be opening our 10th one in Delhi very shortly, which means that we've already been able to set the foundational retail SOPs and structure in place. This is not a new brand. We are not figuring out everything. Actually, we've had stores open now for the last year and a half, which have given us an entire year's worth of cycle and learnings. And we are able to now apply those learnings to ensure that every single next store that we set up is basically already set up to kind of be able to scale rapidly and to be able to take maximum advantage of the branding that we've already created. Every new store we build continues to add to this network as well. So the 10th store, the 11th store, the 12th store, all will continue to get an advantage. And as we scale up, there'll be more brand recognition and definitely more people aware and walking into the brand. The fourth point is I think one of the most important points in bringing out in terms of the trust in the brand. So we were lucky enough to raise a round of 25 plus crores in funding, which was led by Westbridge Capital. And Westbridge is one of the most well-known, best investors in India, you can say. And they typically invest in later stage brands. They typically only invest, 200, 250 crore plus into large established companies. But because we had a relationship with them, I had worked with them for many years. They were keen to take a bet outside of their typical wheelhouse, which was a bet that they wanted to take in us as founders, which was that they wanted to invest in our early stage round. So typically, Westridge is one of the key investors, you can say, in many well-known brands. For example, Indigo Airlines, they're a big stakeholder. Third Wave Coffee, one of the fastest growing coffee chains in India, is primarily owned by them. And they are able to kind of help these brands scale up rapidly. And that's the same expertise they're able to bring into Firefly as well. And it also gives that trust that there's a very serious institutional backer that has already come in, is involved in everything from the financial perspective, from an auditing perspective, an operational perspective, helps open their networks, which helps us get into even more places than we can otherwise. And actually forms again the foundation on which we can now go into the broader market and find other partners to bring on board as well. About the lab grown opportunity, I'll talk a little bit about that on the upcoming slides, and think many of you guys would be aware, but I'm happy to share more. And then a few more points. I think we're very proud to say that our supply chain is end to end in India, leveraging all the relationships that we have. We've been able to build a beautiful supply chain and support the Indian economy. Over the past 12 months, we've also built and scaled and launched many initiatives in the stores, which again, I can talk about a bit more, but we have a loyalty program, we have an installment plan, we have try at home, and many other things that basically help us bring incremental customers and conversions into the store. Design-led brand. This comes from our heritage of being in diamond jewelry design and manufacturing for so many years. We are able to take advantage of a 50% design studio who helps us create a new collection every 2 months. So we are the fastest moving in terms of designs. We can experiment the most in designs, and we can kind of keep iterating and launching new things. As soon as something comes into the market, maybe someone else might try to copy it before they can. We've already launched the next thing. And this is a unique advantage based on the way that we are structured. Fully customizable product is the second side of the same coin, where because we have our own manufacturing, customers who come into the store, we've trained the store team to be able to work with those customers to completely customize any product. In case they find something that they are not happy with, or they are not finding the perfect product, they are able to completely customize it from scratch. And the team is trained to take those orders, and we as manufacturers are trained to be able to kind of close and deliver that on a very quick basis. This is a significant advantage for us, because not only does it help us with providing customers with a beautiful service and a beautiful product that they could not get elsewhere, but it helps us with the second thing, which is keeping our inventory very lean. You'll see a little bit about this later when we go into the details of the model, but we are able to operate these stores with a significantly lower level of inventory versus the level of inventory that is required in other stores. So our turns are much better, and as a result, the economics of the store and brand are much stronger. The last thing with lab grown diamonds comes the angle of sustainability. And every single diamond, we plant a tree in that customer's name, and that's a way of giving back and making sure that we are kind of helping and supporting the environment. So understanding the opportunity, I'll take a second to just explain what lab grown diamonds are in case people are new to this category. But lab grown diamond is basically a real diamond. It's identical in every way, chemically, physically, optically, to a natural diamond. The only difference between the two is a natural diamond was grown underground, and a lab grown diamond is grown in a reactor under the same conditions that are basically underground, but it's grown in a reactor and it's made of pure carbon. So you take a slice of a diamond, you pass along different gases into that kind of environment with high pressure and high temperature, and you're able to kind of create a rough diamond. And from there onwards, the process is exactly the same as natural diamonds. You basically have to, you continue to have to polish and cut the diamond, then the diamond is set into jewelry, and then that jewelry is obviously sold into retail. So for us, we felt lab grown diamonds are for sure the future of the diamond jewelry industry in India, because Indian consumers are naturally value conscious. There's a really, really high demand for diamond jewelry in India, but most people are never able to afford diamond jewelry. So lab grown diamonds brings that product into the masses for the first time and allows people to experiment more on design, to experiment more with sizes, to get more products than they could otherwise purchase. And as a result, we think this will definitely be the future of the category. If I just had to put a snapshot of where I feel the lab-grown diamond industry is going to go over the next 5 years, today the jewelry industry in India is one of the largest markets in the country. And it's actually the largest jewelry industry globally. It's tied with the US as the largest jewelry industry globally. So it's around a 9 lakh crore jewelry market. Within that market, diamond jewelry is a tiny, tiny slice of that. It's only 75,000 crores. While that is big as a proportion of the total jewelry market, it's still very small. And as a result of that, as Indians get more money, as Indians have more discretionary purchasing power, people are more and more coming into the category. So this diamond jewelry market of India is the fastest diamond jewelry market globally. And every year it's continuing to gain more share. Today it's around 8 to 10% of the jewelry market. If we compare that against the US jewelry market, diamonds is 60, 70% of that category. So as we are at 8%, as we scale up and get richer and over the next few years, as we see that GDP growth, more and more of the total jewelry market will come into diamonds. And within diamonds now, today the lab-grown diamond market is even tinier. It's only around a 2,000 crore market today. Last year, it was around a 4 or 500 crore market. So already we've seen just in the past year, this market has grown by around 5x. And the expectation is that over the next 5 years, the total jewelry market will grow. Within that, the diamond jewelry market will grow even faster. And within that diamond jewelry market, the lab-grown market is going to continue to kind of pick up space. So even if we assume a very small amount, even if we assume by 2030, only 2.5% of the total jewelry market is lab-grown diamond jewelry, that market is still going to be a 35,000 crore market, which compared to the 2,000 crore market today is almost, a double of, if the market doubles every single year from here till 2030, they will get to 35,000 crores. So this is the opportunity. Seeing this opportunity, we started Firefly. LGD pricing makes it accessible to most Indians. The millennial and Gen Z population in India are always ranking diamond as the number one item that they are looking to purchase. Over travel, over vacations, over gold, over any other product. When there are surveys done of what is the number one gift that you would hope to receive, diamond is consistently ranking number one. But most people cannot get that. And with lab-grown diamonds, that product is now in the hands of all of these people. The other trends that we can take advantage of is organized jewelry is growing rapidly. Younger people, especially, increasingly opt to go for brands. People don't want to buy from a small local jeweler who they cannot trust. They are looking to buy from brands. The natural diamond players, the gold jewelry players have all proven that with the way that they have scaled and the way that brands have been able to scale over there. And the second trend that we're taking advantage of is daily wear jewelry is gaining share versus bridal jewelry. And daily wear jewelry and occasion wear jewelry, you can say, is the exact category that perfectly suits itself for lab-grown diamonds because people can try more things, they can experiment more frequently. So this is the opportunity that we have in front of us. If I now come to one of the key differentiators, as I talked about for Firefly, each and every piece of Firefly jewelry is handcrafted. We are making it over a 20-step process. It takes 100 hours, but each diamond is hand set, each diamond is cut. The cutting and polishing happens, and the polishing happens by hand, and the quality check happens by hand. And the quality check is a rigorous process. And these two things are very important in terms of the final jewelry that we are making, because we are not selling loose diamonds, we are selling finished jewelry. And we need to ensure that the jewelry that we are giving the customer is the best quality jewelry that they can get in the market, so that the customer is happy with the product 1 year later, 5 years later, and 25 years later. And that customer will continue to repeat from us at Firefly, and that will help us build and scale this brand into the kind of giant that we are expecting. Second, we have a very, very strict assortment in terms of our diamond selection. Only 2% of the world's diamonds meet the standards that we have set. And this is not just in terms of color and clarity, but we go much deeper into the cut, the polish, the symmetry of the diamonds to kind of make sure that each and every specification we are giving the customer the best in class. So we are one level above where most of the other players are today. And all of this is certified independently by IGI, which gives that external validation and authority. Finally, as I mentioned, we do a lot of our own collections, which have never been seen before. I'll show you some of those photos a little bit later. Coming to the Firefly experience and the customer initiatives we've launched, we have an installment plan, which has already driven almost 1 crore of sales for the brand. We have a Firefly studio where we create personalized, it's a personalized designer ring experience where you can create your own ring online or offline in the stores. We have Firefly Family, which is a loyalty program where we have already had so many customers who are continuously repeating from us very frequently. And then we have Firefly Reserve, where we actually do personalized high jewelry for many of our VIP customers who are able to take advantage of the fact that our background is in jewelry to create very large sets where a single order could be basically worth 15, 25, 30, 35 lakhs plus. And Firefly Concierge is again a try at home program where we're able to kind of effortlessly bring the products to the customer's home to let them try it and use it in peace. There's no obligation to buy, but again, it helps us drive incremental sales from the same stores. So this is a snapshot of the first store that we had opened in our city. This is obviously a render, but of what the exact store looks like. Looking at this photo, I think you can get a sense of the brand that we are looking to create is very different from what the traditional jewelers in the country have been creating. I'll take a step back. I'll come to why, Firefly, the name. If we start right at the name, we did not want to go with a traditional name, like naming it like, let's say, after the family or something of that sort, because we wanted to create something more modern, something more exciting. And Firefly came from two ideas. It came from the fact that, the beauty of a firefly is that it glows in the dark. And it's such a small thing, but it has such a, beautiful light. And our idea was that even our diamonds, the same way, it could be small, but it could give you such a, upliftment and glow in kind of the dark when you're wearing it in any setting. And it also ties with the entire theme of nature, sustainability, and also takes the brand in a completely more modern direction towards which is then reflected in the store design, which is reflected in the product design as well that we kind of keep in the stores. So our stores, I'll flip to another page as well so you can kind of see some of the interiors. The left side is actually a store that we just opened 1 week back in Mumbai. It's our first high street store and our flagship store. The two of the photos on the right are some of the interiors of the store. So if you see the space, you'll see that it's very different from a traditional jewelry store. There's not counters with rows of seats, but actually we have made a space where the customer can come in, they can walk around the store, they can browse the store in peace. In the back, you can't see it in the photo, but behind the wall, there's a small space for a private lounge. And once the customer has explored the store, once they are serious about making a purchase, we seat them in the lounge, we offer them tea, coffee, anything else that they have. If it's a special occasion, we celebrate with them. And that's where we actually show them the products and actually close the deal. So the entire experience is much more modern, modeled after what some of the Western international luxury brands have been able to kind of create as an experience. And this experience is what gets the customer into the store and gets them coming back every single time. I'll just briefly show some of the collections, which will give you an idea. So this was our first collection, the Icon collection, which was inspired by the Firefly logo. And what we also did is, apart from creating some beautiful pieces, we also created our own signature diamond cut, which is the Firefly Icon cut. And this cut is something that only is available at Firefly. So this shows our design background, it shows our manufacturing capabilities, and it shows the customer that what we offer you at Firefly is something that you can't get anywhere else in the world. Second collection, this is actually, I would say, our most recent collection, which was the Garden of Light, Eden, a Garden of Light. And the entire idea was it was inspired by Akshaya Tritiya and Earth Day, which is both coming around in April, which is springtime. And we wanted to create an entire collection based on nature. So we actually experimented a lot and used different fancy shapes to give that kind of element of lightness and earth and nature, leaves, floral theme, and kind of create this collection. It's been our most successful collection to date. A little bit before that, we had launched the Maxim collection that was for men. We had been seeing an incredible response among men at Firefly. Even with a small amount of stock that we had kept in the store, we had such really, really good business that we were driving that we decided to focus on this category. Celebrities today in India are increasingly endorsing diamond jewelry on the men's celebrity side, I mean. And we think that this is going to be a huge category for us, and we want to be the market leaders in this space. Always You is probably our coolest collection till date. This was what we had launched a few months back, and the entire idea was that people, especially the younger generation, is looking for jewelry that is versatile. So each and every jewelry piece in this collection can be worn in multiple ways. It could be a ring that becomes a pendant. It could be a bracelet that you can wear 2 ways. It could be a earring that you can wear in 3 different ways. And entirely setting this up from a manufacturing perspective was a huge challenge. Building pieces like this that can be reversible, that can be flipped, It's not easy, and it took us a lot of R&D, a lot of testing to kind of create these designs in the end. So this again has been really, really successful in the stores. Customers are always super impressed. And this also creates that halo effect for the brand, that when someone comes in, they're wowed by the products that they see in front of them. And then they go ahead. Maybe they purchase from the collection, maybe not. But either way, they are having a very strong impression of the brand as soon as they kind of go through and see these collections. After Dark was our signature occasion wear collection. This was what we had launched right before the bridal season. Bigger pieces, bigger sets. The piece on the right was actually worn by Disha Patni at an event. Lot of products that are like more solitaire heavy, more design focused for occasions, was what we launched here. And this is a lot of what we aim at our VIP, repeat, HNI customers. This is just a snapshot of celebrities that have actually been spotted in Firefly. We've had people wearing us for different red carpet events. We've made custom jewelry for someone like Vijay Deverakonda, who's actually worn it in his own brand photo shoot. Shania Kapoor and many others have kind of worn Firefly on the red carpet. And yeah, now coming to the franchise proposal. So maybe I can give you guys a quick brief before I just jump into that. Bharat, anything else from your side? Should I pause here if you want to add anything, or should we go into the model now?
No, we can go on to this model now.
Perfect. So honestly, we've kept the franchise model very simple, very easy for both parties to kind of align on quickly and to go ahead with rapidly. The 500 square foot store that we're typically doing. CapEx for that store is around 40 lakhs. Inventory deposit, and we can talk a little bit about this, but this is by far the biggest differentiator among this model. We are allowing people to start with only 1.35 crores of investment because, as you'll see a little bit ahead, 1.4 crores of inventory support is going to come from the brand. So 1.35 is invested by the franchise, and against that, we are giving 2.75 crores of inventory in the store. The franchise fee is 5 lakhs, so total investment is only 1.8 crores. And working capital, I think for security deposit, we need around 15 lakhs. We're giving a minimum guarantee on inventory of 14%. Revenue share starts at 10% for the initial years. This leads to an ROI of 24% and overall IRR of 22%. And this is for a 9-year agreement. So the benefits, if I just quickly outline, the benefits of this model, which is a franchise invested company operated model, is absolutely no operational burden. There is nothing required to be set up, no transactions that need to happen, no invoicing that needs to happen of products on a daily basis between the company and the franchisee, no consignment, none of that sort. The entire operational burden will be taken by the company. Franchisee just has to partner with us as an investor. For that, we are giving a minimum guarantee, and over and above that, we'll be crossing that minimum guarantee from the first year itself. Our revenue share that we have promised significantly exceeds the inventory minimum guarantees that we're giving. So franchisee just has to put in that partnership and then let us handle everything from there. Second, the brand leverage. We are not a new brand. We have been around now for 2 years, 2.5 years since we first started. And it's an established brand in the industry. We've already done a significant amount of marketing. And the funds that we have raised from Westbridge Capital will entirely be going into marketing the brand and continuing to scale that up. So every single store that we open, any store that we open with your partnership, will be getting a benefit of that as well. So that brand equity that we are creating. Consistent standards. Again, this is not our first store. This is not the first time. We have very clear SOPs in place from everything from the store launch to how each and every minute detail is managed. Revenue share, obviously, we talked about there's a fixed revenue share as well as a minimum guarantee that protects your downside. So you have absolutely no risk. And then from there onwards, the incremental revenue share will end up giving you a really, really strong return over the 9-year period. No working capital complexity, again, as I said. This is by far the biggest advantage of the FICO model. The reason we wanted to offer this model is because with FOCO, when the franchisee is purchasing the inventory from the brand, there adds a lot more complexity because you are purchasing a certain amount of inventory. Now, if that inventory is not sitting in the store, then some inventory needs to be sold, some inventory needs to be returned, some new inventory needs to come in the store. There's constantly on a monthly basis a lot of transactions and reconciliation. I would say on a weekly basis that needs to happen. But for Firefly, the reason we have proposed FICO is each store that we open, we'll be able to take advantage of the entire store network. So how that would work, I'll give you an example. If we open our 10th store with a franchise partner, and let's say we put, as we said, 2.75 crores of inventory into that store, every single month, I will rotate my collections across from one store to the next. So every month, with the same amount of capital that you have put, without putting in a single more rupee, you will get the next collection that comes in, and your collection will move on to a different store. So there is consistent movement. There's new products that come into the store every single month for you to invite customers, for us to invite customers, for us to sell those products to. There's no worry that, okay, this product isn't moving, I'm stuck with this product. If it isn't moving, we'll move it to another place. We have around 60 years of understanding of what designs sell in what region in India down to the micro market. So we can take those inventory planning, allocation, optimization decisions centrally, and we can keep giving new product for which we can kind of drive significantly good business in the stores. And that is how we are able to manage this with such a low inventory requirement that we have from the franchise partner. And transparent governance and reporting, I think this comes without saying. As soon as we brought in an institutional partner like Westbridge Capital, this was the first mandate that we had as a brand. This is a completely professionally run brand. Every single thing is very transparently reported. The entire governance structure is very clear. We have very direct reporting that we have set up that goes directly from our ERP to the investors, where they get very clear reporting on sales, margin, store performance, and many other key metrics that we've had to set up. So entire thorough legal diligence, financial diligence, vendor diligence, supply chain diligence has already been done by the investors. And that advantage will basically be passing on to our franchise partners, because they have ensured that we have set up a very clean, very tightly run ship. And now as we scale this up, we just need to find the right partners with whom we can continue to grow and expand the business. So yeah, thank you so much for the time. I'll hand it back over to you, Bharat.
Right. Thanks, Adit, for the great presentation. Right. So, I mean, in case if anyone would like to go for this brand or would like to know more about it, I think you can get in touch with any of our leaders, right? We have a Vishwajit, who's from Pune. Then we have Ravi. Then we have other leaders also from the different cities. So in case if you want, I mean, I would also request all our leaders to, share your number in the chat box so that, if anyone would be interested, can get in touch with you separately on your individual number. Talking about this opportunity, I think India is standing at a very interesting point in the jewelry industry right now. Earlier, the diamond were considered as a luxury only for the small premium, the audience, because the natural diamond were extremely expensive. But now, with the rise of lab-grown diamond, the entire market is opening up to a much larger consumer base. Today's generation, especially the millennials and the Gen Z, thinks very differently. They are not buying jewelry only for the investment or traditional anymore. They are buying for self-expression, fashion, daily wear, lifestyle, and smart luxury. And this is exactly where Firefly fits perfectly. The lab-grown diamonds solve three major consumer problems at once: is affordability, sustainability, and the modern design appeal. A customer who earlier could not afford a large natural diamond can now buy a much bigger premium looking diamond at 70-80% lower cost. And that psychology changes the buying behavior completely. The second big shift is the sustainability. Globally, the consumers are becoming more conscious about the ethical sourcing and the environmental impact. Lab-grown diamonds are positioned as a clearer, smarter, future-ready luxury category. And this is why globally the adoption is already growing rapidly, especially in the engagement rings, the daily wear jewelry. Now, if we look at India specifically, the market is still in its early stage. This is the biggest opportunity, in that situation. The Indian jewelry market is already massive, but organized premium lab-grown diamond retail is still highly under-penetrated, which means the brand, entering the early and building trust, retail presence, and aspirational value now can dominate the category in the next 5-10 years. And Firefly is not entering as a small local jewelry. I mean, you already have heard about their legacy. They probably have the 60+ years of diamond, the legacy international manufacturing expertise, luxury retail positioning, strong design capabilities, etc. So, I mean, they are not new, by the way, right? They comes with a solid, the experience, and that gives a strong fast mover advantage. The smartest part of this business model is that Firefly is not, competing with the traditional jewelry stores directly. It is creating a new category business between the luxury, the aspirations and the affordable ownership. And that is a powerful space. So, I would also request, I mean, Rajesh, in case if, I mean, we have Rajesh Kapoor with us. He comes with 25 years of, the jewelry, the background, right? He has worked with multiple brands, in the past 25 years. I would also, request Rajesh ji to take, share your, point of view on this particular category, how the lab-grown diamond is gonna shape in coming years.
Hi, good afternoon. Myself Rajesh Kapoor, and it's really interesting to see lab-grown brand is coming up, and the market share is also increasing day by day. People are interested in buying lab-grown diamonds. They will window shop, they will check, they will see the designs, what differentiator you have, and what price points you are selling at. And to start with, they will often customers go for a smaller product initially to understand how the brand will work, uh, and how what is the guarantee part, what is the buyback. They basically start with these kind of parameters, and gradually when they are satisfied, they are the word of mouth for your brand, and they will definitely bring more customers to you. The only differentiator is the design part. If your next door jeweler is catering more designs on lower category prices, that is also a challenge for a new brand. So on that case, you have to really see the pricing part, the design part, and what other services you are offering to the customer.
Absolutely.
Secondly, the enrollment program is also very important for a new brand to gather more customers, to enroll more customers since they visit to your stores often every month and check new designs as well. By paying their installment, they browse the store and check new designs. So that also increase our presence among those customers. And I also suggest that you should do a small kind of tea party for those customers on that day. If they are visiting in a group, you should encourage them to visit in a group so that you have a footfall of customers. Nowadays, we have to really work hard for footfall of customers. Every retailer coming in for or investor coming in for, he will definitely ask for what kind of footfall we are generating, and for that, what efforts we are doing, that is much more important.
Right.
So
Thank you.
I wish that we should onboard uh, as many as investors as quickly for your brand, and all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Rajesh. Well, usually, I mean, when we, see the lab-grown sector, right now, I mean, we see a lot of competitors. We have seen a lot of brand. So, of course, I mean, as an investor, the first questions that someone may ask you, like, how you are different from the existing other competitors, and you know, and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is the consumer acceptance increasing, particularly for the lab-grown diamond, based on your experience so far?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can answer that in two parts. I think to answer your second question first, consumer acceptance has been amazing. I think far beyond what we could have anticipated when we launched the brand. People in India are ready, excited to purchase lab-grown diamond jewelry. There's a huge amount of demand that has already come into the market, and there is a huge amount that is on the edge that will come into the market over the next couple of years. That is guaranteed. The product value proposition is so strong that it sells itself. You're getting better quality diamonds, better quality jewelry at a significantly more affordable price point. You can purchase more frequently. You'll get a better experience. Because you're coming in 2 diamonds, 4 diamonds, you'll get better assortment, better designs. So the product sells itself. So on that point, I think the way we've seen the market pick up in the last 2.5 years has been incredible. And we think that this is just the start. On your first question about how Firefly and where Firefly differentiates from the other competitors, I think it's 3 things primarily. I think the first that we talked about a little bit is, like I said, the family legacy. We are not new to the category. We are not new to the stakeholders in the category, the key players that sit across the value chain all the way from the start till the end. They are all people that we have known and had these relationships with for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Those relationships play a huge advantage when it comes to how we do our sourcing, how we manage our inventory, how we manage our product quality, how we get our designs, how we launch our new collections. It plays an entire huge part in making sure that the product that comes to the store is the best product with the most variety of designs at the fastest frequency. So that is how that supply chain strength comes to the front of the customer market. I think the second thing that we've been able to differentiate is that we have been able to get a strong institutional backer on board who has basically seen this journey with many other brands. So combining that with the fact that we've been in the industry and grown our own businesses so successfully over the last 60 years, we have now gotten somebody on board who knows how to take a company from 25, 30, 50 stores to 500 stores, 1,000 stores into the largest player in the world, or the largest player in the country at least. And they are ready and willing, and they have very deep pockets. As I mentioned, they typically invest 250 crores plus is their minimum check size, with the total fund that they have is around 60, 70,000 crores. So they are ready. They have set very clear targets for us in terms of what we need to achieve over the next couple of years. And when the time is right, next year, in 12 months, we'll be able to get a significantly large round of investment from them, which will allow us to market this brand and take it to the next level. That journey from 50 stores to 250 stores to 1,000 stores, they are going to be with us on that journey. They have the right advisors in place who we can sit with, who we meet. I have a call with them later today as well, who help us. So we have the right partners on board from both a supply chain and from a consumer side, if I think about from a financial perspective. And then the third part is when it comes to product quality and design. In today's lab-grown category, the category has changed, where earlier somebody could purchase a diamond jewelry piece maybe once in a year, maybe once in multiple years, they can buy one piece. They would buy it for a very specific, usually a bridal occasion. With lab-grown, that purchase has become much more frequent. They can come 3, 4 times a year. When they come 3, 4 times, they need a variety of designs. And with the fact that we have a 50% design studio in-house who is able to help us create those designs on a very quick basis, that means that we can be the fastest to market on any new trend and with consistently coming up with new collections. So when the customer comes to the store 3 months later, they are seeing completely different merchandising mix than they would have seen earlier. And that's again the advantage that we'll be able to give with the franchise model that we planned as well. That was the reason we specifically wanted this model, so that each and every store that comes into the network strengthens the entire company as a whole.
Mhm. Right. And also would like to know, like, who's your primarily, who's your audience? If you could just differentiate the buying patterns from the
Yeah,
like the bridal buyers, the fashion buyers, the daily wear consumers.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who are your target audience, and how has been the buying pattern at your existing stores?
Yeah. So I think in terms of category, we are primarily into daily wear and occasion wear, less so into bridal. And that is a function of where our stores are present, the kind of store format that we've created. And the second thing is in terms of our target customer, the target customer is actually somebody who has already experimented or is thinking about experimenting with natural diamonds. So they aren't a purely somebody who's never purchased, because that person might come in to purchase something for 10,000 or 15,000. We have customers who are thinking about making a purchase in the 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh range. And now they are able to come to Firefly and they're able to buy a larger piece at a significantly more affordable price. So they're able to buy multiple pieces. So for that reason, the customer experience that we give in the store, if you visit the store ambience that you'll get when you visit the store, the kind of experience you'll have dealing with the sales team, pre-sales and post-sales, will be one level, one notch above what you would expect for this category at this price point. we've maintained that this is a luxury product. You are buying it for a special occasion. It is something that you are gifting to somebody. It might be one of the most important occasions of your year. So the experience of buying that product should also match that. And that's why we've invested so much in terms of the sales team, in terms of the store, to kind of make sure that we are delivering that experience.
True. Great. All right. Well, I understand that, we didn't go more deep dive into the financials because, please understand that it is a jewelry brand, high investments required. And we would rather like to, have separate discussion about the financials. We can have a deep dive, discussion about the aspects of the financials. So my request is to please get in touch with us on the number. I'm just sharing it into the chat. Just putting it into the chat. It is 9717683838. You can call on these numbers, or maybe you can connect with our regional leader. I think Ravi from Gujarat has already shared his number in the chat box. You can note it down, and or you can get in touch with on our centralized number 9717683838, or you can also write to us at feedback@franchisindia.in. So that's how you can get in touch, and we'll have a deep dive discussion about the financials. I understand that this 40-50 minutes is not good enough to have all the clarity about the overall investment. So that would be the best way. As I was talking about that, the smartest part of this business is that it is not competing with the traditional jewelers or the jewelry stores directly. It is creating a new category between the luxury aspiration and affordable ownership. And that's really powerful. Why? Because psychologically, the lab-grown diamonds are shifting diamonds from once a lifetime purchase to a repeat lifestyle purchase. Right. So that completely changes the scale potential of the business. And the real opportunity is just not just selling the diamond. The real opportunity is building India's next generation luxury jewelry brand around accessibility, aspiration, sustainability, and modern identity. And whosoever they capture this transition early can build a very large consumer brand over the next decade. If you talk about this brand, I mean, we already have discussed like 60+ years of experience, luxury positioning with affordable accessibility, design-led modern jewelry brand, and sustainable. They believe on sustainability and ethically luxury. So that is all about this brand. It is indeed a great opportunity because it provides you the FICO model, franchise invested company operated. So you operationally you don't have to exhaust your energy to running that store. Right. So the brand will take care of everything. They have a professional team. They will take care of all the operation, inventory, managements, the branding, standardization. So that reduces operational complexity and makes it attractive for the investors, those who don't want to get into the operation, just want to invest. So it is indeed a great opportunity. In case if you would like to get in touch with us, you can connect with the number we have shared in the chat box. So I think that's it for the day. Thank you so much, Adit and Ayush, for joining us today on this webinar and presenting the great the business opportunity for those who want to invest. And I would also appreciate you for coming here on this show, talking about the brand. Rajesh ji, thank you so much for your input. And the rest of all my colleagues, I really appreciate you helping me driving this webinar today. So I think that's it for the day. But before I end, I may request like Adit or maybe Ayush to share your last thought, any closing remarks for the audience.
Yeah. No, I think thanks, Bharat. Thanks, team, for setting this up. I think you've covered most of the key points. I think a couple of things that I would quickly add is I think the way that we are seeing this opportunity shape up is I think this is going to completely change the landscape of the entire jewelry industry, which is the third largest consumer industry in the category. So we are very keen to kind of be and emerge as the number one brand in the space. And for that reason, we are moving quickly. We've, over the last 6 months, looked at maybe 300 locations in kind of the core markets, which we've mostly been passing on because we have a very clear focus that there are very specific markets and micro markets and locations that we are comfortable taking as a brand. And now over the next 3 months, as we mentioned, we've just opened 2 stores and we have 6 more stores that are in the pipeline that are already in kind of the late stages, which are all tier 1 locations, either in malls or in the prime high street locations. So I think these are exactly the kind of properties that we'll be looking for as a brand, and we'll continue to find those. And now we want to bring in the right partners who can basically join with us for those stores and then help us take this to the next level. So thank you all for joining.
Thanks everyone. So see you tomorrow once again with a new brand, and we'll explore another opportunity. Till then, take care. Have a nice day.